What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on James Gunn's Superman, which is coming out very soon. One of my most anticipated movies of the year. What? Wait, what? Warstu said he's looking forward to it. Yeah, I am. Like I keep telling you, lads and ladettes, you can criticize something, you can critique something, you can go over positive stuff and negative stuff and still be looking forward to something. You don't have to super chill everything just because you're a fan. That's not really how the real world works. So, CinemaCon is next week. Maybe a trailer comes then, or maybe it comes on Superman Day later in April, but we've got some brand new information from recent test screening from alleged so-called reliable insiders. But as I've said previously in a different video, I will no longer say where it's coming from. We're just going to cover the story. So, yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? What's you here? If you are new around here, what the freaking hell are you doing? Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. You could subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on. And let me know down below how freaking hyped are you for any of the superhero movies. It's a good time to be a Marvel, DC, and a Monsterverse fan because they're starting to shoot Godzilla x Kong 3 next month. So, also, if you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice, check us out on Instagram and check us out on Twitter. G. Right, let's get into it. So, last night there was a test screening, and allegedly it went very successfully. So we are led to believe. But as I said, guys, I'm not going to say where the information comes from. We're just going to cover it because then you get into politics of, oh my God, which scooper is fake, which scooper is more reliable. So we're just going to go over information. So, someone said Superman had a test screening, and from what I hear, people loved it. Then another scooper came out and went at him. Oh my God, fight, fight, fight. And said, beware a hyperbolic test screening reaction. Now, what I find interesting and funny is test screening is just a test screening. You have a bunch of different people from different demographics and age ranges, and they have different personalities. They may not like something, they may like something. So realistically, unless plot details come out, it doesn't really matter. But the other person came out and said, be aware of hyperbolic screening reactions. And then the other person said, only if you think diversive is negative. Diversive just means people liked it, some people didn't, which is true of the audience. What blurted out comments said did not match what I heard, so I chimed in. It's always interesting how you have one person saying one thing, another person saying another thing. The original person that broke the story that the Superman test screenings were awful, it is now turned into like the biggest DC chill ever and is now shilling everything and saying it's the greatest Oracle movie of all time and all existence. Personally, like I've said before, I don't think James Gunn is a very good writer. Well, chill up, lads, chill. He's a good cameraman. He's a good director. I just think his writing's pretty basic and pretty dull and pretty average. Like I've said, go on my Instagram at Warstu. I think the Suicide Squad movie was a good movie. Didn't do great at the box office. Who knows why? Got dominated by Godzilla vs. Kong back in 2021, but who knows? But it is interesting how people distribute other information because you can have two people say the same thing and then person X says something and it gets alliterated completely different. So now the narrative going around the internet is, oh, the streets are saying Superman is good. Now, allegedly, this has the new scenes added. It's post reshoots. But you got to understand, right? We're just about to go into April, May, June, July. There's still multiple months until the movie comes out. They can literally do reshoots in June and change stuff if they wanted to. So no movie is ever going to be perfect. But like I've always said, this is not a normal movie, right? Warner Bros. Discovery is in something like $45 billion worth of debt. And the DC brand is basically destroyed because of the old, Walter Hamada, Toby Emmerich, the old regime. Let's blame them. Let's not blame Zack Snyder. It's not his fault. He hasn't realistically made a DC movie in so many years, but he still gets hate for it, right? It's the old regime, right? So the real reason they went wrong is they came in and said, yeah, we're rebooting everything before Shazam 2, before Aquaman 2, before The Flash. Basically ruined all that stuff, which they might have performed a little better. Who knows? So this movie has to bang. I think if it does 800 to 900 million, it will show investors, it will show people that, people actually like DC again. Like I say, Batman movies always do well, but people keep saying Superman is one of the greatest heroes ever. But that's, like, statistically speaking, that's not really the case when it comes to box office. So this movie can't just match Man of Steel's numbers from back in 2012, over 10 years ago. This movie really has to bang. It really does. So there's lots of rumors going around, which I find fascinating. So the report comes from someone, we don't mention any scoopers' names because then you just get into politics. There is reportedly a massive surprise cameo in Superman. Now, what is interesting, not just the cameo. I think most people understand what the word cameo means. Like, if you have a part in a story that is centric to the narrative of the whole storyline, it's not really a cameo. So who could it be? Well, I've heard a bunch of things. And I'm not going to say where any of this stuff comes from because it's not my place to say. But I've heard, okay, Supergirl's in the movie, right? Allegedly. But that's not what they're on about. So I've heard Brainiac is going to appear right at the end of the movie. But I've also heard something different, right? Which I don't know if I believe this. It doesn't really matter if I believe it or not, but I'm just putting it out there. Is Bruce Wayne is supposed to be in this. Bruce Wayne, right? Bruce Wayne is allegedly in this movie. And it's not just a 30-second scene. Allegedly, Bruce Wayne will appear in this movie. And you see their face. Allegedly. Like I say, guys, I cover everything on this channel. Doesn't matter to me if it's true or not, but that is a rumor that is going around that we are going to see Batman appear at some point in the Superman movie. I don't know if that's what X person is talking about, but allegedly Batman could appear in this movie in a Bruce Wayne format. So potentially, sounds like to me, maybe they've already cast whoever Batman will be. Now we know Amazon Prime has Jack Reacher, Alan Richardson. They're basically campaigning for him to be Bruce Wayne and Batman. Do I think that's going to happen? No. No vamos, chico. I would like it to happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. So, yeah, there's people out there saying that Batman, Bruce Wayne, is going to be in the movie. And apparently he's already been cast, and you're going to actually see him in the movie properly for a few moments, which would be very interesting. But do I believe that? I don't know. Is Amazon Prime campaigning for Alan Richardson to be Bruce Wayne Batman? I don't know if they are. But Prime Video did put a post up because there's a scene in the episode before last which actually states that Jack Reacher is justice. Personally, is he a huge actor? I don't know. He is, but he isn't. He hasn't really done many movies, realistically, has he? No. He was a former Aquaman in a way, and yeah, the Jack Reacher, the Reacher TV show is big. It's just been renewed for season 4. But is he too big to be the Batman? I don't know. I really don't know. So some stuff has allegedly leaked for this movie. A subplot. There's a subplot where supermodel Eve Tessmacher is in love with Jimmy Olsen, but he can't stand her. Interesting. So, like everyone always says when stuff comes out, just keep expectations in check. I heard directly from Warner Brothers, decidedly less glowing than what X said. Not to say it went terribly, but it's diverse. Film with a particular silly tone. Some people click with it, some people bounce right off it. And it sounds like some people are trying to say it's Wonder Woman 1984 bad. I mean, like I say, lads and ladettes, I don't think James Gunn's a bad director. In fact, he's actually pretty good director. He's a really good director. He's just not good at writing scripts. And that's probably going to be Saul Cabliettes. That's probably going to be the main issue of the movie that he's writing. It's kind of bad. Like, I mean, this is really going to be a take that people might go with. I compare him to Zack Snyder. I don't think Zack Snyder's the best writer either, ever, but I think Zack Snyder's a great director. And you can't say he's not, because even Christopher Nolan rates Zack Snyder as a director. Everyone does. Irrespective of the writing. Sure, Rebel Moon could have been better if the script was much better. Sure, but you have to admit, it did look pretty in some scenes. So that's part of the so-called subplot that's kind of leaked, but it's just a few lines. It's nothing massive, to be honest. And, you know, apparently there's a war behind the scenes at Warner Bros. Discovery, but because basically the company's not making enough money, and there's a hell of a lot riding on this movie. That's why it's gonna bang. It's gonna absolutely bang. So, trailer allegedly could be coming on April the 1st or April the 2nd. Now, we're dropping a trailer on April 1st. April's Fool Day. Would that be the best move? No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't. So it's hard to know what to believe because, you know, Scooper 1 contradicts Scooper 2, Scooper 3 contradicts Scooper 4. Now, allegedly, Clayface is getting a movie. We know it's been greenlit, but allegedly that's the reason why the Batman 2 has been cancelled or has been delayed, because the villain of the Batman 2 was supposed to be Clayface, and now Clayface is going to appear in the DCU. I just wish they were transparent. Like, either the Batman 2 is delayed or it's cancelled. The script is not finished. Even the biggest DC shills are no longer following that narrative. And if it's true, Bruce Wayne appears in the Superman movie, cool. If that's the case and you've already cast him, cool. That would be an epic reveal. That would be really cool. Then if that's the case, fast track. What I mean by that, write a script in under 6 months. It does not take a year to write a script. Does not take that freaking long, lads. Let's be honest. But let's just have a clear, decisive, explanation. Where the hell is that movie? The Batman one came out years ago. So Giancarlo Esposito says he's interested to join the DCU to play Mr. Freeze. That would be cool. I really feel like Marvel, with his sidewinder character, wasted his acting ability. For some reason, Giancarlo Esposito said he's never played that role before, but it just seemed like he was playing the bad guy that he's played multiple times. So yeah, I mean, contrary to public perception of Warstu, he is a character. I know that. I'm talking about myself in third person. I'm not actually a DC hater, but like I said in the prologue, I can like something, be anticipated into something, and still criticize and critique it, and still enjoy something. I'm not one-faced narrative kind of guy that can only chill and got to say everything looks great about Superman, and the 360 turn when he's flying looked like it was so bad to the point where people are like, yeah, it's going to be the greatest movie ever. No, it just doesn't look like it. So, and sure, I hope Supergirl's cool. So like always, guys, let us know. Is Superman in trouble? Is this alleged subplot actually real? Who knows? Potentially find out next week when the trailer comes out, or when they reveal some information at CinemaCon next week. It's for cinemas. It's not a public event. If you're in the industry, you can get access to it. Not very hard. But they might not even drop this Superman trailer. If there is Superman footage or Superman trailer, they might not even drop it for the public. It's not a public event. Sure, the websites like comicbook.com, so on and so forth, Collider, they report stuff what was said there, but realistically, it's not really an event for the general audience. It's not Comic-Con, it's not D23. It's a cinema event for cinema theater owners. So are we getting a trailer next week? Who knows? I hope it's not going to happen in April. I hope it happens in the middle of April. So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon, guys. Catch ya later.